Hey guys, what's going on? BMcG here, and today we're here to recap my mutant path for the 10th anniversary Carina's challenges. I ended up using Northstar in Onslaught plus synergies, and I ended up making Northstar a Horseman of Apocalypse. So Northstar took, I think, 4 of the fights, and then Onslaught took the rest. These two go very well together because Northstar is physical damage based and Onslaught is more energy and direct damage. So basically whatever Northstar can't do, Onslaught should be able to do perfectly fine. So on this whole path, the defenders have a 50% chance to evade your medium attacks. So this hurts certain mutants. Northstar's kind of affected by it, but he has a slow on his special 1, which allows him to bypass evade, which makes him a lot safer to use once you can get that up. So if you are planning on using Northstar for this path, I recommend using him in shorter form content first to learn his abilities and learn how his combos tie together, because this is not the place to learn how to use Northstar. There's a lot of nuance to a lot of these fights, and you need to understand what certain things do in his kit and why they're there. Our special 2 here, we're going to use this to activate Speed Burst. So if we parry here and then we dash in, see how that little lightning icon turned yellow? That lets you know that Speed Burst is going to be activated once you use a special attack. You can trigger Speed Burst by using a special attack after a dash, a special attack to punish a heavy attack, and a special attack punishing a special attack. Those are the 3 ways you can activate Speed Burst, and while it is active, Northstar has a built-in power efficiency which allows him to spam specials, and yeah, it really makes him pop off in these fights, because the ability to spam specials at this rate that he does allows him to get through these 8 million health pool opponents. Now that you guys understand how the Speed Burst works, we're going to talk about his reverb charges, reverb passives, and his passive pauses. A lot of passives. So on your light attacks, you have a chance to gain a reverb charge, and those reverb charges are converted into reverb passives off of your special 2. The chance increases with Speed Burst, I believe, and the passive pauses are gained from critical hits on your special 1. So now that you know how all that works, the general rotation for a lot of these fights is to do special 2 first, just under 3 bars of power, and making sure that it triggers your Speed Burst. That way you already have a special 1 ready to rip right after the special 2. From there, you will spam a few special 1s, building up your passive pauses to a point to where you feel like you can get to your special 2 again without your passives falling off and without your prowess falling off, because you don't want to lose your ramp. See how I have 22 passive pauses on me? I'm going to use that to get myself to my special 2, because I am not done fully ramping. You really want to get to 35 reverb passives, because that will increase the damage significantly, and if you don't do that, you are not going to be soloing fights with Northstar. It's an absolute necessity for him in these longer form fights. But see how I went in right there, dropped the special 2, and now we're at 35 passive reverbs. Now we can just go in and go crazy. If you guys are doing this run after his rebalance, your special attacks will not stun the opponent. You guys will see a little bit of why that is. That's why it's rebalanced, because there's some stun locking stuff there. But I promise you, he actually is going to be quite a bit better for these challenges after his rebalance, as far as I know. The balance changes are supposed to make him easier to ramp, which is going to make him easier to use in these fights, because he doesn't do these fights the way that you think he would as a champion with massive damage once he's fully ramped, because it takes so long to get there in comparison to other staples of Necropolis. So yeah, that's the general gist of how to use Northstar in Necropolis. He's kind of tricky to use, which is funny to me because he's built for this kind of long form stuff. He's not super easy to use, and he doesn't fit well on a ton of paths, but he's actually a really solid option for this path specifically once you get him ramped and once you get him going. He's a bit tricky to get going there, and I completely understand if you guys don't want to use him. I do think he is one of the better options for this challenge, even though there are tons of really, really good options for this challenge in general. So I'm going to let the rest of this fight play out. I will catch you near the end of this fight to recap what we did, and then we'll talk about the next fight, which is Hitmonkey. Okay, so I am back because we are at the point to where I know Northstar has the range to just full send and take this dude out. I don't want to bait any more special attacks because I was getting kind of nervous at my ability to do so. We still have the speed burst active. We just dropped the striker for the striker stun, and now we're just going to keep spamming special attacks. And yeah, this dude's done. Yeah, he's done. There's not much else to say here because the power efficiency from speed burst helped get us to where we're at, and we can just do a combo here into a striker, chain it, and then, you know, full 5-hit combo, and that should do it. Or a 5-input combo, I should say, because he's got a multi-hit combo. But yeah, that was Sauron down with no revives from Northstar. So next up is Hitmonkey, and this is one of the best fights, if not the best fight, for Northstar here in Necropolis. He handles Hitmonkey probably better than any mutant, I would wager, because Hitmonkey in this fight with the evade chance from the node allows Northstar to ramp up to max momentum. Normally, to get to max momentum, you need to use special attacks. So each special or bar of power consumed is, you know, it gives you momentum, and that increases your chances to convert, get pauses, gain prowess, I believe, and it also increases the duration of your speed burst, how quickly it comes back, and how long your passive slow is. So essentially, just the more specials you throw, the better Northstar gets. And this is bypassed due to the evade here. And the only reason you gain these momentum charges here against Hitmonkey instead of all the other champions is that Hitmonkey is a skill champion. He only has this trigger when a skill champion triggers evade. Right there we get in and get that special 2 going, and as you guys can see here, the damage is already looking really good, and because we have the passive stun already, we could just rip the special 1, get the pauses going. And yeah, we'll just spam a couple special 1s here, and yeah, we could do a second medium attack for an armor break debuff that increases our critical penetration, which will, you know, also allow us to deal more damage, but it also allows us to have a higher chance to gain these passive pauses off the special 1. So yeah, it's just a perfect fight for Northstar. I will catch you guys at the end of this fight, and we will talk about the America Chavez fight, because that's probably the most nuanced fight on this path outside of Psycho Man. So there we go, Hit Monkey is about to be done. There we go, final special 1, and he's done. If you throw Northstar special attacks into the opponent's block, it can go unblockable after a certain amount of momentum. Like I said, you keep ramping his momentum and good things happen. This Dead Poloid randomly popped up here, which is awesome because we wanted these extra stats for America Chavez. This next fight against America Chavez, I think, is the hardest fight on this path. I end up soloing with Northstar, but it is one of the trickier fights because there's a lot to juggle with her kit. So what you want to do here is spam your light attacks to build up your reverb charges. And then you want to play in a way that manipulates the AI into not throwing heavy attacks, because the more heavy attacks she throws, the more dimensions she gets up, and the more dimensions she gets up, the more power she gains when she launches her special 1, which is not good. You don't want her spamming special attacks the whole time because you'll get cornered and then she'll throw more heavies. This fight, we are going to utilize the special 3, because the special 3 allows you to have a chance to gain more pause passives on your special 1, and I think it also increases the rate at which you convert your reverb charges into reverb passives. And because you can trigger power efficiency with your speed burst, this will allow you to reduce the cost of the special 3, making it make sense to actually use. So as you see, we use a special 3 there, and we are, I think, just under a special 1, which is really useful. And yeah, I think we're going to use one more special 3 because I think this increased chance in abilities triggering stacks up to 3 times. It's not needed 3 times. I don't even think I needed it twice here because the Horseman actually really helps, with the ability actually increase, but I wanted to play it super safe. And when I sold this before for a showcase, I actually played it exactly the same way I played it like this. And yeah, I'm gonna do it the same way I know works. So right here, we're gonna go in, and now we just need to get a parry. I want to bait the special 1 first. That way, nice. That was silly. But here, we'll just punish the special 1 here, and then drop the special 3, and that's our second special 3. Now we have the max chances we want for increased gain for passive pauses, and then the reverb charges. So yeah, next special on our game plan is the special 2. And then we'll use the special 1 a couple of times, and then another special 2 to finish our ramp, and then we should be good to go. So yes, I understand that this fight is probably very boring to watch so far. I've been in here for like 2 minutes and I have barely even made a dent. And trust me, we will make a dent soon. Just trust me. So yeah, we just need to bait this last special 1 out of her. I think I'm going to punish with a light attack, drop that special 2. We have the special 1 already ready to go for the passive pauses from the special 1. So right here, we'll go in, do some light attacks, drop that special 1 for the slow. So now we can start using our medium attacks. One thing you want to keep in mind here is that against America Chavez with her Necropolis node, if you knock her down consecutively before a timer expires, she will gain a dimension. And like I said, that works with her abilities off her special 1. It also makes her special 2 unblockable if she gains the negative zone. So yeah, you just got to be really careful about what you're doing and how many specials you're spamming. That's why we went for the special 3 2 times here, because the less special 1s we have to throw, the better, because we can allow some of these dimensions fall off that she's getting, and we could actually prevent some of these from triggering because we are not knocking her down as frequently as the node would like us to. The node wants us to do it very often so she can gain these dimensions, but we don't want to do that. So yeah, we'll go in here, drop the special 1. I don't think that triggered speed burst, which is not ideal because you generally want to trigger it every single time that you can. It increases your chance to do everything in your kit. Essentially, it gives you increased crit rate, which directly affects all the abilities that trigger off special attacks. So yeah, you want to trigger these the speed bursts as soon as you can. It makes them easier to use. But yeah, we're already in the second set of Necropolis charges, and you might be thinking things aren't looking great for us, but they're actually looking really good. We have 15 pauses now, so I believe this is room for us to get to our special 2. And with the power efficiency that we have built into our kit, that will allow us to get to another special one shortly after to pause everything. That's generally his biggest issue when using him for stuff like this, is that if you can't get to a special 2 or a special 1 immediately after the special 2, all the stuff that you spent so hard or so much time working on and getting, you know, active, they just fall off. But see right there, we have 1 pause left, and we go in, drop the special 1 right away, and now we're back up to 15 pauses. So now we are fully ramped, ready to go, and this fight is going to be over with pretty soon here actually. We just need to be careful and play it smart. Don't get caught baiting a lot of heavies. Like, see, she's always going to throw heavies because she thinks she's Mysterio, but you want to just play in a way that tries to dissuade her from doing so. So yeah, like I said, you want to play in a way that is more patient and less aggressive while still dropping your special attacks for the increased damage. It's a tough balance to find, but once you find it, this fight becomes frankly pretty easy. So I will catch you guys near the end of this fight, and then we'll start talking about Airwalker, who everyone seems to hate. So I think right here is when the alarm starts to trigger in my head. She's got 20 something charges left, so I need to do something. So I start to full send. And I think it was a good decision because you guys are seeing some of that damage that I'm doing. It's really good. And right here we go in, boom, 3% left. Another 5-hit combo into a special 1, and she is done. So Northstar handled that fight pretty damn well, if I do say so myself. I generally like him there because he's just an all-around really solid champion. Physical damage is ideal there because she gains increased energy resistance for each dimension, so physical damage will deal the full amount. But next up we've got Airwalker, and a lot of people hate this fight, and the key to not hating this fight is to block the special attacks. You don't want to dex them because that will put the Dark Tide on you. So yeah, just block them. You'll heal pretty frequently with willpower. And then you also just want to spam knockdowns because you don't want him gaining the Power of Galactus buff. There's some times where I screw up and I don't get the knockdowns in time. And that's fine because Northstar has a built-in slow off his special 1. So if he does, you know, gain the Power of Galactus, not a huge deal because you'll just out damage the regen and he won't be unstoppable, or the effects of unstoppable won't be there because the slow will effectively cancel them out. So yeah, we dropped 1 special 1 for the increased chances for pauses and reverb conversion. But yeah, we're pretty much about to cook this guy the same way we cooked Sauron, same way we cooked Hitmonkey. yeah, so yeah, I'm not going to say much else more. This is the last Northstar fight here, so I don't really care about his health when he ends here. I thought I was going to use him for another fight, and yeah, it's not a huge deal. You guys will see what happened in the fight where I wanted to use him. But yeah, I messed up there with the special 2. It's not a big deal because I could just drop another one. The only thing that would have sucked is like if I had tried to like use a special 1 and went to his block when I'm not unblockable and then I lose everything. That would have sucked. But yeah, we're good right now. So yeah, I will catch you guys at the start of the next fight, which I believe is Captain Britain. Alright, so it's time to full send with Northstar here. He's got like 20%, or I think there's like 15% health left. So yeah, we're just going to drop some special 1s, use the strikers when we can, and this dude's going to be pretty much over with. I didn't want to go completely like Cheese God and show you guys the full ramifications of that like stun stuff, but yeah, it's pretty powerful, but I think he's going to be better after the changes, like I said. But yeah, next up we have Captain Britain. She is an Onslaught fight through and through because she really hurts Northstar's damage, because I believe his damage scales with crit damage rating, and if he can't crit, you're pretty screwed. Like these exhaustions here really hurt your damage output with Northstar, and it makes him feel like an absolute noodle. So yeah, this is one of those fights where Onslaught is going to shine as a partner for Northstar. because Onslaught will get around all this with his direct damage, which is pretty huge. So you just want to play Onslaught normally for long form content. For those who don't know, the rotation is spam special 1 like once or twice. That allows you to get enough neuroshocks to max out your degen conversion on your special 2. And then after the special 2, you just spam special 1s because your damage will spike during special attacks. So right here we drop a second special 1, and that puts her up to like 29 neuroshock passives. So now we could just, you know, keep cooking, and the next special attack will be the special 2, because that will allow us to really max out our damage a bit, and then we could just keep amplifying it with special 1s because the neuroshocks keep adding, and yeah, it's a good time. So yeah, really not too like impressive here. Like, it's not like a super hard Onslaught fight, so I'm not going to bother voicing over the rest of this fight, but I do want to catch you guys at the next fight, which is Wiccan. There's something really funny that happens there, and then yeah, we'll talk about that one. So yeah, Onslaught is pretty OP here. You know, if you're good at playing Onslaught and if you've practiced against certain champions for like long form fights, He is phenomenal here, and yeah, he does these fights in like 4 to 5 minutes generally, which is awesome. So yeah, he's just a great champion. Next up, we've got Wiccan here, and I thought I could use Northstar here. Northstar does physical damage, right? And Wiccan has negative physical resistance, right? So you pair the two together, and it's a recipe for some massive damage, probably like a speed record of solo here, because this Wiccan only has like 6 million health. But something weird happened, and I guess I didn't read any nodes or abilities, and I just wasn't understanding what was going on here. So yeah, I didn't play too great here, and I thought I would be thought I'd be in for like a really easy solo. But yeah, you guys can see right here, boom, goes to special 3, and I had no idea what happened. So yeah, Northstar's dead. We don't need him for Psycho Man, so we finished this fight off with Onslaught, which, again, he's the ideal option. If you get neutralized, it is fine, because when a buff fails on you from Wiccan's neutralize abilities, that incinerates you, but the incinerate ramps up Onslaught's neuroshocks on the opponent, so it's like a win-win situation, plus it's free willpower healing. So yeah, Onslaught obviously the best champion here. So what I should have done originally was Northstar for the first 4 and then Onslaught for the last 3. And that's what I end up doing. There's really not much that needs to be said here. There's just a little bit of trickiness trying to get Wiccan in a good spot for you to be able to land your heavy attacks for the extended pause, because you don't want to just parry all the time. But you can do that trick that I do there where you parry, do a one basic attack, then delay your heavy slightly. That's pretty much a foolproof way to get that extended pause, and it's generally pretty safe. I don't think they have the ability to react in time to actually like throw a special attack or anything. Right here, we're gonna bait an actual heavy attack, or I wanted to, but we screwed up. But the cool thing about Onslaught is that he's pretty easy to reset. Just as long as you don't lose all your neuroshocks, you should be fine. So yeah, I'm gonna catch you guys at the Psycho Man fight. And again, Psycho Man is gonna be the same as most Onslaught fights. It's just he's a bit tricky because he's got class advantage here. Alright, so Onslaught cooked here. There's not much else that needs to be said about this fight here because Onslaught is just the ultimate chef against energy damage. So yeah, next up we have Psycho Butt, and we're going to use Onslaught here. He's the only champion on my team that like actually makes sense for this fight because of the way his kit works. He has increased ability accuracy on certain things, and that you know, counters a lot of the bullshit that Psycho Man likes to do. So now that we are just getting into this fight, this is the one fight where I do die. I had 6 solos, or kind of solos. You can't really count the Wiccan one. So I had 5 solos leading up to this. Onslaught could have easily soloed, you guys know that. So yeah, this is the only fight where I have a revive on, and it's honestly just due to chip damage and me not playing super great. Like, that's literally all it is. I think Onslaught could solo this. He's got the reach for it. It's just kind of tough. I do think if my Onslaught was Sig 200, these fights would be pretty faster because the Daunted has increased potency with the signature ability, and that increases his damage in these long form fights by a really sizable margin. But yeah, there's really not much going on here than just normal Onslaught play. So yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, consider hitting the like button and subscribing. I will catch you guys for the next video or stream. It's actually probably gonna be a stream where I do the Calls Worthy and Gods run. So yeah, I got bored and did this one off stream just because it sounded like fun, and I ended up doing it pretty efficiently, and I wanted to share the run with you guys. So yeah, like I said, if you guys enjoyed it, hit like, sub if you're new. I'll see you guys for the next video or stream. Peace out.